to another educational webinar here with your friends from Shweiki Media. And thank you much for being a part of all of our success. And I always like to start out by thanking the folks over at Shweiki Media for including me in this educational training series for publishers and leaders in the media space. So my name is Ryan Dohrn, and I'm a revenue strategy consultant. And today we're going to be talking about growing online readership. Now, I know that this topic in and of itself can potentially sound a little boring, but here's something that's really important for all of you to understand. The more media comes out, the more media that's available, the more we as leaders within the media space need to do to continue to shine a light on what that we are doing at our media companies. See, what's happening with tablets and mobile devices and people being able to see videos in their sunglasses and things like that is that it really is literally Times Square, neon flashing in people's faces all across the internet and all across the world. So what we have to do is continuously as publishers and media leaders look for ways to re-energize, rejuvenate, continue to reinvent ourselves when it comes to online readership. If we don't, our numbers will become static and will become flat, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I always want to encourage all of my customers, and I work with about 65 different media companies each month on their revenue plans and their ad sales training strategies, and I always encourage my publishers, my clients, to focus on one goal per quarter. So if you're on the revenue side and we're trying to develop some new revenue strategies, let's find one area where we can focus and let's really hit it hard third quarter or fourth quarter or first quarter of 2013. Now, in this particular case, we're going to focus from an IT perspective on online readership, and we're going to focus in on one goal per quarter that we can really do well at. See, what happens with a lot of companies, you actually do a lot of things halfway, and so you really feel like, well, if I add up all of those halves, then pretty soon I have a whole. Well, instead of doing that, instead of trying to do four things as good as you normally could do, I would encourage you to set goals, focus in on one thing per quarter, and really accomplish it, really tackle it well. See, too often we're guilty of trying to do too many things because we feel like we're behind the eight ball. And I'll share with you that you're not. What you just need to do is continue to work hard to keep a bright spotlight shining on your digital assets. Now, when you talk about goal setting, a lot of people, they just almost feel like maybe it's a trite conversation, maybe it's a overused conversation. You just don't feel that way. Everybody you talk to in thought leadership always comes back to goal setting. Whether it's you want to lose weight or you want your sports team to do well or whatever it is in life, you still have to focus in on goals, and it's important for you to add visualization to those goals, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. So do you have a goal in mind? If not, let me give you some suggestions. First of all, what is your online or your fiber reader retention plan? What are you doing to retain readers that you already have? So you need to ask yourself, what is that plan? And let's just put it this way. If I called you right now, and I said, hey, I want you to email to me your retention plan. The question that you should have for me is, do you want my online plan or do you want my print plan? Because I want you to have a plan. So if you can't email that to me, then that means you don't have one in place. So what is it? A reader retention plan is a plan to keep the readers that you have coming back for more time and time again. When is it planned? It's planned and revisited at least once per year in your strategic planning meetings. Do you have strategy meetings? Well, that might be a goal. Maybe this year in fourth quarter, you're going to hire a guide, you're going to hire a strategist to come in and really help you with a reader retention or a reader acquisition plan. Now, where is it located? It really is located in the heart and the soul and the minds of all of the people, all of your employees within your organization. A plan can't be executed by one person in most cases. okay, unless you're man versus wild, Bear Grylls out in the middle of nowhere, okay? It really embodies everything and really encompasses everybody within your entire enterprise. It has to be some accountability to it. So I just had 10 collective athletes. I said to them, hey guys, go out and work out. And you're like, just go work out, don't really care what you do. Well, some folks might lift weights and grow their arms to be real big. Some folks might push weights with their legs and make their legs real big. And some of them, maybe they're a little lazy, they're not going to do anything because there's not much accountability in that sort of exercise. See, a lot of times as I'm putting together strategy plans, what I see people do is they have a good plan, but they're using one mechanism. The mechanism is accountability. So whether it's a reader acquisition plan or a reader retention plan or it's an advertiser acquisition plan or an advertiser retention plan, you've got to have some type of accountability. See, I truly believe that any plan is better than no plan at all. But to keep in mind, too, if you do have a plan and there's no accountability, the idea that it's going to get executed, probably the success rate is going to be greatly diminished. First idea for you, a promotional calendar. Now, you've heard me talk about this before. Let's talk about it in some greater detail. See, here, as a publisher, you have an editorial calendar. It's a big deal, right? It's a real deal for your company. It's a priority for your company. But how about a promotional and contesting calendar? I don't care if you're in the B2B space or the consumer space. Doesn't matter. I'm trying to say that people that read a B2B magazine don't care about promotions and contests? Human beings, by nature, love contests. They love winning things. They love being a part of things. See, promotions don't necessarily have to end with someone winning a prize, okay? Promotions can end with them giving you reader feedback. Promotions can be all-encompassing and encompass a lot of things. But the thing is, most organizations don't have a promotional calendar, so the sales team can't sell into it. So what does the calendar look like? In my office, and I'm looking at it right now, I've got a big whiteboard, okay? I've taken that whiteboard and I've used black electrical tape, and I've actually separated that whiteboard into several quadrants, exactly 12 to be exact, which represents every month of the year. Then, at the top of that quadrant, or that little grid, we're going to write whatever the theme is. Let's just say that we're talking about August, okay? And the theme is going to be something to do with end-of-summer blowout savings, or whatever it is, okay? End-of-summer reader engagement plan, or whatever. What advertiser in that column are we going to dedicate and partner with for that contest or that promotion? See, remember something. Use that visual allows the editorial team, the sales team, the IT team to see that you are committed to contests and promotions to grow online readership. We want to come up with promotions and contests that actually bring people in and get them excited. It wasn't that long ago when gas prices were over almost $5 in some cases, or over $5 for some of you, when a $500 gas card was like, worth its weight in gold. Now, the thing to remember is you want to make sure you're giving prizes or you are rewarding people with things that they're going to find meaningful. So let's just say that you are a city and regional magazine. If you're a city and regional magazine, what is it and who's someone in your area you can partner with to give away something not only that will benefit their business, but that the readers of your magazine will think are really cool. Now remember something, and I've shared this story with some of you before. Many moons ago, when I was involved with a website called horsecity.com, we surveyed to find out what is it that people really wanted to win. It might be a saddle for your horse or maybe a horse trailer. What people really wanted to win is they wanted to win a horse, a living, breathing, well-trained horse. And a lot of folks said, Ryan, you can never make that happen. We did make it happen, and we grew from almost no users to 100,000 unique users a month to our site because we really gave people what they wanted. It all started, though, with a promotional calendar. Sales needs to be a part of it. A promotional calendar is going to be key to your success in bringing new readers and retaining old readers as well. Next, I want to talk about creating click trails, okay? So what are click trails on the site? It's not a terribly hard concept to explain, but let me give it to you in some detail. You hear internet experts talk about creating the path of least resistance, the cleanest path for your reader to get to a particular story. A lot of times people say you want people to be able to find the content they need in 2 clicks or less. What I found is a little bit contrary to that. I have found that if the content is good and if you create a precise click path, you can actually engage a user to 5 or 6 pages on your website if the path is precise, if the path is correct. Let me give you an example. Maybe you continue to run these big flashing rotating images on the main page of your website. What I recently discovered is that those actually don't drive as much traffic as if you took 10 headlines and paired them up with a small photo. Now, encourage the click. You want the photo to be representative and you want it to be good. You want the little headline to be teasy, precise, and contain your keywords from an SEO perspective. Now, when someone clicks on that headline, it's going to go over to the main story. On the main story, many of you would also immediately include the video that accompanies that story or several pictures that accompany that story. Rather than doing that and to encourage more clicks on your website, which drive up your total page views, which in turn going to drive up the total number of ads, banner ads served on your website, so one nice picture with a body of text. Make the click path very, very easy to see. For more, click. Break the story up into a couple of parts. When you get to part number 2, create a video button for the video itself. When someone clicks on the video, then perhaps it takes them over to your video player or your video page on the website. So you've created then an additional 2 or 3 clicks. Well, if you have 10,000 people coming to your website and you can go from 10,000 views to 30,000 just by organizing a click trail or a click path, then additional revenue can potentially be recognized, right? Because you're driving up your page views and you're driving up the banner ads that are being served. Now, so many of you, this is counterintuitive to your thinking because you've always been told from the beginning 2 clicks or less. Well, not arguing with that. What I am trying to encourage you to do is create concise and clean click trails to lead people deeper into your content, and as we'll talk about in a little bit, creating some social media circles to drive people from your website all through your social media and bring them back to your website. You want to drive people through your site to pieces of content, whether it's videos, editions, whether it's calendars, tests, photos, whatever. You want to create a click path. If your genesis is one single page, you're missing out on an opportunity to get 3 or 4 more clicks. Now, if you don't agree with me, give it a try. You're going to see that if the content is good, it actually will click through further. Now, onto that same thought, or continuing on that same thought, is online media circles, or creating an online media circle. So what you're going to do is expand the click track concept over to social media. Let me explain. You're going to perhaps create a circle that may start with a posting on Facebook, then link over to your .com website. From the article, you might break your story into 2 or 3 parts, encourage them to click for more and click for more, and then you might then push them for more photos rather than place those photos on the website. Maybe you push them over to your Pinterest site. Then from the Pinterest site, you might make a note or a caption that pushes them for more over to your YouTube channel. From your channel, you might include in the descriptions that are, of course, very keyword rich and have good keyword density for your main keywords on your topic or your website. Put them through a link back to something on your website. Now, often what too many of you do is the link that you share throughout all of your media circles is just your .com name, just your basic .com name. I want to encourage you that if you want Google to pay some attention to you, if you want to get some respect, some street cred, if you will, from Google, you want to begin to use the longer URLs that you'll see at the top of particular stories. There's a Penguin update that came out via Google not that long ago. And one of the things that they said in that update, or one of the things that I have deduced, if you will, from that update, is that Google is going to pay more respect, give more respect to long links that actually link over to individual content. And so you want to make those links appear in as many places as you can online, especially within your own social media settings or your own enterprises. But you really want to think about it. You want to go to a whiteboard and say, okay, we want to create an online media circle. So here's a story on weightlifting, just to continue the analogy from earlier today, okay? Okay, so we're going to create an article on weightlifting. We're going to push it out via our e-newsletter, which is going to link over to our Facebook page. From there, someone might share it, whatever. We push them from the Facebook page over to the actual article on the website. The article website might link over then to a video in our YouTube channel. We're going to talk a little bit more about the topic, or maybe show one of the weightlifting exercises being demonstrated by your publisher or sales director or director. That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Be creative, people. Then from YouTube, another link maybe over to, a contest or promotion that's back on your .com website, or over on Pinterest, or whatever it is. It's about you laying out a schematic, if you will, laying out an online media circle. Here's the reason why. You know where in that path one is going to share what it is that you're talking about. So if you don't create this circle, you are essentially missing out a shareable opportunity throughout the social media sphere, if you will. So it's important for you to not see the internet as a website. Your website is an important part, but you really have so much more to offer and so many more things to do. But very often you use social media enterprises in terms of bringing people in as sort of one-way traffic. You need to think of it as a bit of a path. Think of Candyland, okay? Remember the game Candyland? Play that as a kid? Okay, you missed out. Go buy Candyland, okay? Think of it as Candyland. Candyland, the game, you would actually, follow the path and then move down ladders and things like that. Think of it as a path for your readers to follow. Now, will your readers follow the entire path? Probably not. But you don't know where in that path they may pick up the story. Let's say I find it on YouTube. Did you know that YouTube is considered by many to be the second largest search engine on the internet? Well, isn't that Bing or Yahoo? No, people actually go to YouTube and they search on YouTube for information. You can do anything on YouTube in terms of videos. It's almost wacky, actually, what you can find. So I encourage you, in terms of growing your online readership, to really think about online media circles and how they can dramatically benefit the drawing of traffic to your website. Now, a lot of you have heard me talk about videos in the past. It's a different conversation. What I've seen done by several publishers very successfully is they actually go to YouTube and videos within a certain topic. Let's continue to use weightlifting, just as, I don't know why that's the topic for the day. I grabbed that out of thin air. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe I should be doing more weightlifting. Who knows? Okay, the topic is weightlifting. Let's just say that you're a magazine that has to do with high school sports. And go to YouTube, and you're going to find 5 funny weightlifting videos. So you're going to go into YouTube, and you're going to find 5 funny weightlifting videos. Now, you're going to go over to your website, and you're actually going to take those 5 videos you found from other people. You're going to place those 5 videos on your website in basically a little stacked fashion, okay? You're going to send out an e-newsletter. It's going to say these 5 funny weightlifting videos. And that's going to link, okay, over to that page on your website where those other people's videos are at. And what you're doing is it's called curating content. Okay, you're curating content. And actually using your e-newsletter, or then you're going to create a media circle. So go on Facebook and 5 funny weightlifting videos. Check it out. Click here. It's going to actually go over to a page on your website. From your website, you might push them over to a promotion that you have running on another part of the website or whatever it is. You can actually use other people's videos to drive traffic to your website. Now, should you wrap those videos in all kinds of commercial advertising? I mean, that's really up to you. The intent of this is for me to give you new ways and exciting ways to drive traffic to your site. See, a lot of you are crippled by the thought of videos. It just cripples you. The idea that you'd have to create videos is foreign, or you've tried it in the past and it didn't work. See, the thing that happens with a lot of folks when I hear that, and I tried that in the past and it didn't work. What I typically find is, okay, they tried it in the past, but they probably did it wrong. They probably didn't do it and execute it correctly. So something in the past, you may want to seek a little advice from an internet consultant. There's a lot of us out there that do this work. And see if you did it right or you did it wrong. You can actually use videos, curate that content, put it on pages of your website, and use that to drive traffic. Say, well, how do I get permission to use the videos on YouTube on my website? When someone loads a video, they are asked, okay, when they load the video, should this video be allowed to be embedded on other people's websites? They voice yes or no on that. Now, so that means if the availability is there and you can see the embed code on that YouTube video, that means that they have given YouTube permission to allow others like you to embed that video on your website. Now, a bonus tip on that is you need to ask yourself in your strategy planning meetings, what is our editorial video plan? What are we going to do this year to enhance our editorial with videos? The other is, if you do have videos on YouTube, team, your webmaster, whatever, tag correctly. Do those videos, the descriptions, and the tags all contain keywords that are important to your website. See, very often I will find that editors will write clever titles, but the titles don't contain any keywords, and people don't search for a clever title. They search for keywords. They search for keyword phrases. And so you might have great content over on your YouTube channel, but it's not titled correctly with keyword-rich words. It's not descriptions. The descriptions don't contain keywords, and the tags on YouTube don't contain the correct keywords. And we're going to talk about search engine monitoring here in a second, but you want to make sure from a video perspective to drive readership that at least in the video there's a long URL that takes someone over to the actual article itself and not just linking to the main .com name. Talk about search engines for a second. I don't want to get into a ton of detail on this. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, and of course you can always call me and we'll talk about it some more together. It's important, in my opinion, for your editorial team, if you're looking to really drive online readership, it's really important for your editorial team to use search volume research as you plan your editorial calendar. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean to me? What it means is you go to Google's you go to Google's keyword tool in the AdWords interface. Okay, so you're going to Google, just Google and type in Google keyword tool. It's going to allow you to put in phrases that you think people might be searching for in an effort to find your website. So using the weightlifting analogy, the weightlifting for teens, weightlifting workouts, whatever it is, put that in the box there and click search. And then Google's going to show you in the last 30 days searched for that phrase? See, when I'm sitting in an editorial planning meeting, I'm asking that question, okay, how many people searched for that? If someone brings up, let's just say, potpourri for the office. There's another random topic. Potpourri for the office, okay? I'm actually going to go to Google and type in potpourri for the office because clearly that's the key phrase this writer is trying to bring to the table. Okay? So I'm going to actually say to them, all right, let's go Google that. What if there was only 50 searches in the last 30 days? What world would do an article on potpourri for the office if there was only 50 searches on Google in the last 30 days? Articles on keywords and key phrases, key concepts, key ideas that people are actually searching for. See, you can bring together what people are searching for, and you actually have that content on your website. Guess what? Scenario, your readership is going to go up, and your advertisers are going to love it because you're going to have more traffic. I see this problem time and time again with publishers. They sit down with their editors, their writers, they come up with 12 months worth of content or topic themes, and they start putting stories underneath of those themes, and never once do they actually go to Google and see if people are actually searching for that topic, for that content. Sometimes I'm in a meeting like that, and I'll bring up suggestions from Google that might say, hey guys, instead of potpourri for the office, there's actually I'm making this up, air fresheners for the office. That's a better way to phrase it. It's a subtle tweak that matches up what someone wants to write about with what readers are searching for, with what shows people are looking for. Then you have, pow, a winning scenario. Now, to do the other things you need to do is you need to monitor your key terms monthly. Every magazine should have 10 key phrases, 10 main phrases, keyword phrases, that they hope people will type in an effort to come to their website. What is your keyword set? Could you give it to me if I asked you for it? Then you use a ranking tool, maybe something like raventools.com. Raventools.com is one that I use. I like it. It's very affordable. Okay. It actually monitors your keyword phrase sets, okay, keywords. It shows you on Google, Yahoo, and Bing where it is that you rank each month. Because your goal should be that you want to at least be, in the top 10, right? I mean, you want top 10 on those search engines when someone types in a key phrase related to your magazine or your website. You want to monitor the density of those keywords because you want to make sure that if you're a website all about chocolate chip cookies, that chocolate chip cookies in text is represented all over your website. See, guys, when you're talking about driving readership online, what you're talking about is using technology to your benefit to make sure that people know you have things out there for them. From a promotional calendar perspective, from a search engine perspective, from a social media or media circle perspective, you really need to monitor and really watch what people are doing and how they're engaging with you online. Really like, it's this great idea in terms of finding out more about your users and your data, is I like to do a lot of pop-up surveys. Now, there's a ton of companies out there that help you do these pop-up surveys. And what it does is when someone comes to your website, a little box pops up and it asks a question. Do you live in Texas, as an example, yes or no? So yes, then the box immediately goes away. Pop surveys are a way to collect data on your readers. That's sort of an informal, not terribly intrusive way. It's just one question at a time. And so you can get away with it. People tend to answer one question without it being too abusive or annoying. So you sit down and say, what are 10 things that if we answer to these 10 things, we could be more responsive to our readers. We could take better care of our readers. We could provide them better editorial or whatever it is. Pop surveys are a great way to do that. And remember something, you guys, you do this all the time wrong. You try to ask 10 questions because you've heard me say, on surveys, 10 questions or less. That is correct, people. But when it comes to pop-up surveys, ask one question. Ask one question. student? Yes or no? Don't ask about their income because everybody will say they make over $100,000 a year. But I mean, any pieces of data, and ask this data. Maybe you only ask it once every month. Over 6 months, and have 6 pieces of really, really good data. Ding, people, we all know that. And pop-up surveys can make that happen. It allows you to know, do you have men coming to your website? Do you have women? Do you have people over 55, under 55? All these people that are football fans, not football fans, moms, dads, kids, teens, work at home, don't work at home. You can put together a really awesome user profile just by popping up these surveys. Then guess what you do? You serve them back the thing you really want. Obviously, if you know that they're women that enjoy college football, you're not going to serve them a bunch of recipes at that point, are you? No. You're going to serve them what it is that they want. More information on football, or what it is. Just trying to give you a funny example. Then you use this data, as the slide shows here, to grow your strategy. So when you go into strategy meetings, it's not a bunch of people guessing, pontificating, coming up with just big-time guesses. It's a lot of people being able to say, listen, here's a data set that we can own. These people that we know these people, these are the contests that they're going to want, these are the stories they're going to want, and that's the essence of pop-up surveys and why they can help you drive your online readership. So what is the plan? What's the plan? What is the plan to drive readership online? What's the plan to drive readership in the magazine? Plan to drive more views of your Facebook page, your yearly strategy planning session? Do you have a dedicated time once a year to plan, and do you revisit that plan once per quarter with your team? On the call today, you think that you do this well, and you may need to consider hiring a guide. Call somebody that's in the revenue strategy business or consulting business. You might need to say, listen, come in and help us put together these strategy plans. And that's something that's really important, because if you feel like you're doing it well but nothing's happening, then perhaps you're not doing it so well. So what's the plan? Because every plan is better than no plan at all. I hope you agree with me on that. Now, again, a plan is a great thing, but then what are the items of action? What are the action items? And what is accountability? Everything. See, guys, we all want more online readers. We all want more people to subscribe on tablets. We all want more people to we want to print more magazines, and we want to have a lot more people reading. We want more advertisers. And what it comes to, though, is having some type of plan. Today, it's online readership. So what's your online readership acquisition plan? What's your online readership retention plan? What's your contest? What's your promotional categories? What is it that you're doing? Real quick review today. I want you to focus on one goal per quarter. Then I want you to figure out what is your reader acquisition and retention plan. Do you have a promotional calendar? If not, lay one out and present it visually to the office so the salespeople can sell it and the editors can potentially write around it. Consider creating click trails that allow you to drive people deeper into your website and your other digital assets. The concept of online media circles to drive up engagement through all of social media. Use other videos from other users on YouTube and your own to drive traffic to your website. Really spend time looking at your search engine rankings, your keyword density, and make sure that you're presenting content that exceeds what we're actually searching for. Consider using pop-up surveys to get data and help drive reader engagement online. And lastly, you need a plan. You need a yearly strategy session, and then you need to review that quarterly. One of the things is that as a customer of Shweiki is you get 30 minutes of my time absolutely free of charge. So if you have a question about strategy after watching this session today, reach out to me at the number on your screen and set up a time to chat with me, 30 minutes absolutely free because of your relationship with Shweiki. You know, guys, what we're really trying to do as we work through these programs and these educational seminars is help your business grow. Shweiki is committed to that. I'm committed to it. And we hope that you enjoy these educational snippets and webinars, these opportunities to grow. Remember something, Chet Atkins, writer of The Ultimate Sales Machine, one of his 12 points to success is that to have ongoing training. That's something that Shweiki Media is offering to you as a partner absolutely free of charge. On behalf of all the fine folks at Shweiki Media, I'm Ryan Dohrn, and if there's anything I can do, I always offer 25% off to all Shweiki customers, and of course take advantage of that 30 minutes free. Thank you guys. I hope that was beneficial, and if it was, share it with your team as well. Take care, and best of luck growing online readership.